ladies and gentlemen, at the butt knuckle of the internet, we find our dear friends at Flashpoint, and apparently, anybody can blow their own whistle these days. Apparently, this is you. I suppose I don't know how you do it.
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Boebert.
But look, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum.
Where's Dick? Hi, Dick. Do we like Dick? Yes.
What?
So, thank you for the super chat. And by the way, thank you guys for subscribing. We're almost at 53K. We're like 52.5 right now, something like that. So, subscribe, share the show, pass it around. We got a huge crowd in the chat room. It's amazing.
Even outside, it's packed.
That's right. If you think the chat room is packed, wait till you see the rest of the internet, where everybody's just waiting to get outside. Outside, the rest of the internet, they're all here. They're all waiting to come inside, but they can't fit the internet. There's a bottleneck on the internet. They want to come in. They don't know how to come in. They don't know. But yeah, sub on Twitch if you can. If you're on Twitch, please subscribe. I'm never going to hide behind a paywall, and I am never going to do sub-only chat rooms and that kind of stuff. We just deal with the trolls, as it were, because we want everybody who might not be able to, help fund the show or help make it happen, have access to it, because that's the whole point. Yeah. So, yep.
Even outside, it's packed.
So packed. Everybody wants to come in. They want to come on. They want to come all over themselves. So, I'm not going to do all of this because this was long. But Lauren Boebert is on Flashpoint because they want to know what it's like to meet the world's youngest grandma. Kidding.
Hey, Flashpoint Army, are you looking?
Hey, are you dying inside? Subscribe. Okay.
Carlson, I'm going to play a part of a clip where he's being interviewed by that bastion of right reporting, Russell Brand.
Oh, fuck you. The idea is that they're selling that Russell Brand is a Marxist lefty, and so if he likes him, that obviously this isn't a circular firing squad of ideological dipshittery.
What else are you lying about? Watch.
You know it's infected when it hurts. You press it. You recoil. They immediately recoiled when you asked any questions about January 6th.
Okay, first of all, it's infected. So I don't know what Bumpy's talking about, but I think he should get it lanced. Also, some of the worst problems don't hurt. It's too late. But we'll get to that later.
And that was a tip-off to me. I mean, I had no thought in my head as I watched this happen on television and in the subsequent week.
Oh, you're talking about Jan 6.
That U.S. law enforcement or military agencies had anything to do with it. That never crossed my mind. I never thought that it was a false flag or anything like that. I'm not
It isn't.
conspiracist by
It wasn't.
by temperament. I never thought that. And that
by temperament. Some people are just genetically conspiracy theorists. I'm far too smart for that. I'm from upper class people. Conspiracy theory, that's for blue collar people.
And I interviewed the chief of the Capitol Police, Stephen Sund, in an interview that was never aired on Fox, by the way. I was fired before it could air. I'm going to interview him again. But Stephen Sund was the totally non-political, worked for Nancy Pelosi. I mean, this was not some right-wing activist. He was the chief of the Capitol Police on January 6th. And he said, oh, yeah. That crowd was filled with federal agents. What? Yes. Well, he would know, of course, because he was in charge of security at the site.
It was filled with federal agents. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I think you're kind of paraphrasing in an extraordinarily conspiratorial way, just to trigger the conspiracy theorists that you have disdain for and yet require for your own monetary gain. Mm-hmm.
So the more time has passed, now it's been 2.5 years, it becomes really obvious that core claims they made about January 6th were lies. And my view about events and about people is if you catch someone telling a lie about one thing, the first question you have is, what else are you lying about?
Right. Yeah, that's the problem I have with you, with Russell Brand, and with the guys on Flashpoint. I'll give you an example. That Capitol Police head guy, if he said the thing that it was full of feds he was lying. And if more than likely, he said there were a lot of informants there, and there were people that they, there were people among them that they had spoken to ahead of time, because there clearly were. Ray Epps even himself was the reason they think he's a Fed is because the violence crossed the line for him. And he was like, we're going to march in there. And then he's like, oh, I didn't mean march in there and march on people. And he felt regret and started going, there's some people going to bring fucking guns. This is not good. That's not the same thing as, people wearing fake mustaches and boy, I am a big Trump fan. Yes. Well, we should. Why aren't you guys attacking Trump? I just got a text. Trump said, kick Nancy Pelosi's ass. Go. That's what he wants you to believe actually happened. That in and of itself is a lie. Now, we've seen Flashpoint guys, including Gene the Jesus Machine here, and Lanny Walnuts, lie repeatedly. So what else are they lying about besides their Christianity?
It's so good, Lance. That last comment is really the whole point of what I wanted you to see. Because when you find somebody, you catch somebody in a lie, your first thought is exactly what he said. What else are you lying to me about? The White House has got a problem.
So your parents tell you about Santa Claus, and you still went to church after. You don't think they're gonna? No, that you don't think that's gonna fly as an argument with those guys?
Problem. And the DOJ's got a problem. The FBI's got a problem. The Democrat Party's got a problem. The Republican Party's got a problem. They're lying. And when you lie, you're hesitant to believe anything is truth anymore.
What?
You're hesitant. The Republican Party's got a problem. They're lying. And when you lie, you're hesitant to believe anything is truth anymore.
When you're lying or when they're lying? When they lie, never mind. He's just backed it up. Ruth, for when a man lies, he murders part of the world.
But this is why I really believe revival and awakening started, Gene. I'm serious about this.
I don't know. I don't believe you. I think you're lying. I've seen you lie before, so why would I believe this?
Can be as neurotic as anyone else and have to get my faith back up there when I look at the news cycle, because I
have to get my faith back. Will you lose your faith boner to reality?
Immerse myself in this as you do. But I'm seeing something change. There's a collective awareness of the lying. You see, a lot of Americans have been giving hope and shrugging their shoulders and hoping that maybe there's a mistake, because we have been intentionally deceived all along, and America's waking up to it, and it's going to feed into this great awakening moment. So
woke is a good thing now.
For instance, the January 6th hearings, we now realize was complete manipulated theater, and we know it.
No, as a matter of fact, most of the people featured in that have already been sentenced. What was the theater part?
Because what the chief of police said to Tucker in that interview wasn't it strange that they never called me up there? After all, I am the chief of the Capitol Police. They got unionized guys that are on Pelosi's payroll to come in and talk. Why wouldn't they get the chief of police in charge? Because I'll tell you what happened. There was political manipulation days ahead of that to set this in.
Have you guys seen that interview? Because didn't Tucker just say that interview never aired? And did Lanny say that he was paraphrasing? Or is this just bullshit, Joel?
It up, and the place was swarming with feds. They didn't want me in there giving those answers.
And just to put this in historical context real quick, you
all right, they do these hot edits. It's so odd. I don't know what this guy. We know who Lanny Walnuts is, but
and I were with Eric Metaxas a couple of weeks ago. He was talking about comparisons to 1930s Germany. I don't mean to be repetitive from previous programs.
But yeah, I mean, that's how big lies work. You got to repeat them over and over again. Like the idea that this is anything like 1930s Germany, except on maybe your side.
But we have to remember the Reichstag fire of 1933. That was the...
Or the Reichstag fire. either one.
German plan, the Nazi plan, they used that. They used lies about it to get rid of political opposition. And that's ultimately what led to the enabling acts that allowed them to get rid of free speech and all of those things. Here's the difference today in 1930s Germany. They tried the same thing. Think of some of the bills they tried to pass in 2021. Now Lance is 100%.
What did he not? Why'd you cut out what bills they were talking about in 2020? What'd they fucking pass in 2021? We didn't have a new Patriot Act. What the shit?
Right. The lies have finally weighed enough on the American people. They're no longer going to sit back. Remember what the Declaration says. We just celebrated it last week. We know that history tells us men will suffer evils while they are sufferable. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing inevitably the same object, evinces a design to put them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off those forms of government. Now, we're not going to abolish it, but we are going to alter it.
Yeah, then you're not throwing off that form of government. That form of government they were talking about was monarchy, fuckhead. It wasn't even governance. I would argue that it didn't even qualify as governance. It was control. That's what a monarchy is. Just vote and shut the fuck up. Good Lord. Just lose gracefully.
And that's what the American people are standing up and doing now. They're saying, we're going to fix this. We're going to get back to...
Rick Green. So, yeah. So, Dick Green and Gene the Jesus Machine and Lanny Walnuts and then the Boebs.
Federalism. They're awake. I couldn't agree more with what Lance said.
Yeah, amen. All right, Lance, I think you...
Oh, God. You can't spring this dude on me and scared the shit out of me. It's like a Boris Karloff character. What's wrong with you?
Got a follow-up to that?
Yeah, just to follow up on this, just because it's got me stoked up. What Rick's saying is, let's just remember, we have to remind ourselves of this.
Excuse me. Don't tell me what Rick said unless you're going to quote Rick verbatim. Because they cut out half of what he said. And secondly, the way you misquoted the guy you never saw interviewed and asserted what the guy said without showing how you would know he even said such a thing isn't in of itself a lie. So I'm not apt to believe you going forward. I'm just saying.
The FBI, we had 20 whistleblowers that went up and basically lost their jobs, exposing corruption.
We haven't had 20 whistleblowers lose their job in the FBI. Someone's exaggerating. Do we call it a lie?
And the media isn't saying anything. If programs like this do not sound an alarm, these stories get lost. 20.
Dude, if you're talking about a story, it is lost. I'm just saying. Like, you could tell a story has absolutely bottomed out if these dickheads are going on and on about it.
Many of these men risked their careers, lost their careers as whistleblowers, and here's what they said. We were...
He's going to quote all 20 of them, but all squoze together.
Following drug cartel cases. We were following serious terrorism infrastructure invasion. We were told, stop.
Serious terrorist infrastructure invasion. And we were told, stop in the name of Jan 6 before you catch bad guys. Think it over. Can I just say one of the reasons why some of these guys might have been pulled off of serious cases and put on January 6th is because they had so many people they needed to go through footage and just catalog shit because there was so much fucking evidence that they basically pulled every loser and every like hanger-on and every third-tier investigator who never had a good idea ever and put them on Jan 6 to catalog video and make notes. That's why they were pissed. Yeah, the cases are serious. Do you ever think the cases that you were taking off, they're... Hi. One moment, please. I'm back. It was a house emergency, flat tire. We'll have to deal with it later. Summer needs my car to go to the gym. Sorry. So, where were we? Oh, we were with Lanny Walnuts lying his toupeed head off. Let's be, for the record, let's be abundantly clear. You know, dude is wearing a wig. It's okay. Do what you got to do. It's fine. You know, mine's settling in really good there. You know, like it barely slips anymore. Like it, you know, if I really give it a wiggle, it'll, you see what I mean? Like the staples are really good. But yeah, Lanny Walnuts is wearing a toupee. He's got a straight up fucking toupee on. We've seen it multiple times. And again, it's fine, but it's a lie in its own way. Right? How can you tell? We've seen Lanny from multiple angles. Yeah. So yeah. We've seen him live at these other events. Sometimes he throws it on very quickly. So again, what about this dude's job as a pastor really requires him to have a full head of hair? You think people are going to lose faith in the Lord if baldness exists? Who cares? And again, if it makes you feel better, do it. I don't care. It really doesn't. But don't, castigate people and go, if one lie means all, one lie equals all lies.
And begin looking for white supremacist militia activity. The narrative they want, the Reichstag fire they want, is somehow that they can pin upon frustrated conservative Trump supporters that they're a dangerous anti-democracy, violent minority.
No, they didn't. Okay, first of all, people wouldn't know that these people were pulled off of cases and put on domestic terror cases around white supremacist groups in particular if these assholes hadn't made a stink about it. If the FBI wanted everybody to think that maggots were a threat to the country in general and exemplary of some white supremacist force, army that was rising up, they'd have fucking said it. There would have been warnings all over the goddamn place. But they didn't. They kept it on the down low, and they sent them after people who were a genuine danger. People like the Buffalo shooter. People, the Timothy McVeighs of the world have been the most damaging domestic terrorists we have ever had. They kill the most people. They cause the most damage. And they're the most organized within the country. And we've mentioned this before, but like the Aryan nation in the prison system of the United States makes up 2% of the population. It's a very small group. Most of the white people that are in jail don't join the Aryan nation. They're a specific group of people who want to join the Aryan nation, get all the Nazi tattoos and all that kind of shit. And those people are responsible with somewhere in the order of like 40% of the prison murders, both for hire and just retaliatory murders. 40%, 2% of the populace, the Aryan nation, the Aryan Brotherhood, the Peckerwood guys in the prison system, 2% of the entire prison population responsible for 40% of the fucking murders in jail. So if the ones in jail that have to work around they have to make a fucking knife out of a toothbrush by melting it with sunlight over the course of several days, if they're able to do that level of, imagine what they're like when they're out and about and ambulatory and they've all got trucks and access to all the guns they could ever fucking want. Yeah, it's a concern. And it has nothing to do with your general maggot fucking boat, Trump parade, the villagers in their golf carts and shit. Like, nobody cares. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about keeping these assholes from murdering giant groups of fucking people. And this dick, all right.
And so the FBI said, but there's no evidence of that. There's
a lot of evidence. Okay, the Buffalo shooter is evidence of that. Again, there are the three biggest domestic terrorism organizations in the United States are white supremacists, Islamists, and black supremacists, in that order. And after number one, there's a big drop off to number 2 and 3, but number 2 and number 3 are equally dangerous because it only takes one. That, and the same is true of the first one, but they have more of them getting together. Therefore, that's why you need the FBI looking into those guys so that 5 of them don't get together and be a force multiplier of the amount of violence they're able to do. The second and third tier ones are largely lone wolf, but they are radicalized by groups, and so they want people in there to, and around them listening in for seeing who's going to do the fucking pop off.
Started to incentivize them to find some evidence so they could start saying, remember the goofball statements that would come out by these leaders? The number one threat in the United States is the danger of white supremacy and terrorism. No fact in it whatsoever. But
One moment, please. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Here's they won't consider this a real source, but whatever. I'll go to here. The rise of domestic extremism in America. Data shows a surge in homegrown incidents not seen in a quarter century. This is from April 12th, 2021. This is around the time they were talking about. These are domestic terror incidents by year. 1994. Okay, we got to scroll this in. Why is this freezing? Why won't show me the paper? Oh, the whole thing. Okay, here you go. Maybe I have to click on them? No. God damn it. Okay. Here you go. Well, let's go back to here. DHS draft document, white supremacists the greatest terror threat. 2-letter drafts. Okay, foreign terrorist organizations will continue to call for homeland attacks, but probably will remain constrained in their ability to direct such plots over the next year, all 3 documents said. Russia probably will be the primary covert foreign influence actor and purveyor of disinformation and misinformation in the homeland. The former DHS Secretary Kevin McClellan, beg your pardon, last year directed the department to start producing annual homeland threat assessments. That's where this all came in. None of the drafts Politico reviewed referred to a threat from Antifa, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The cutoff date for the information, it was August 3rd, 2020, while the cutoff date for the next 2 is August 27th. The threat, earliest draft was the strongest in language. Key takeaways: lone offenders and small cells of individuals motivated by a diverse array of social, ideological, and personal factors will pose the primary terrorist threat to the United States. Among these groups, multiple groups, we assess that white supremacist extremists, who increasingly are networking with like-minded persons abroad, will pose the most persistent and lethal threat. That's why. Not that the other ones aren't a threat. Don't worry. I'm sure there's a black trans amputee Muslim with a hair lip who's left-handed and is colorblind, who will eventually detonate themselves in a Circle K after hours. But statistically, if that's why you're not leaving the house, I think it's a mistake. However, the rest of these dickheads, we judge that ideologically motivated lone offenders and small groups will pose the greatest terrorist threat in the homeland through 2021, with white supremacist extremists presenting the most lethal threat. And they took out the word persistent in the other one. Next 2 drafts talk about domestic violent extremists. And again, this is the specific part of it. They are the biggest domestic violent threat from extremism. We talked about how they threaded this fucking needle when this stupid argument came out in the beginning. Let's see. Let me do one more thing before we jump back to Lanny Walnuts. Let's see. Let's see. We'll go through the United States. I'm going to go all the way down to here. Oh, there we go. So here's let me go. Let me see this guy. Okay. So this is just from Wikipedia. This is a list of like white supremacist violent attacks. You know, and what they were about. Like here's one in Switzerland, the Zurich Islamic Center shooting, December 19th, 2016 in Switzerland. Lone wolf attack, 1 dead, 1 plus the gunman, and 3 injured. It was a lone wolf, and their reasoning was Islamophobia. That's the reason. Or anti-Islam sentiment. I would like phobias are fucking bullshit. It's a stupid word. It's because a phobia is a mental illness, and therefore, why don't you just put mental illness? It's just stupid. So we'll go down here. Let's get to, fairly close. Let's go to 2020. So here's the Kansas City, Missouri bombing plot. 1 person, the shooter, were part of the Atomwaffen Division, also in the National Socialist Resistance Front, an international far-right extremist and neo-Nazi terrorist group formed in 2013 based in the southern United States. That's their symbol. Remember those guys? White supremacy was the motivation. 1 person died, the shooter. 2020 Boogaloo murders. 2 dead, 4 injuries plus the shooter. Boogaloo movement and the accelerationism is the reason they want to. The accelerationism is let's start the race war that's going to happen already. Okay. Murders of Bibba Henry and Nicole Smallman. June 6, 2020 in the UK. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Judge Salas home attack. July 20th, 19th, 2020. 1 plus the shooter. Lone wolf, anti-feminism. The Oregon State Capitol breach. 21 December 2020. 4 injuries plus. Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer. They attacked over anti-COVID stuff. The Jan 6 account. There's 138 plus injured, 5 dead. In relation to it, support for Donald Trump is the primary one. The Atlanta spa shootings, 8 killed, 1 injured, lone wolf, Christian fundamentalism, anti-Asian sentiment, but also white supremacy in that regard. That's why they think these are, because I think you have to believe that you deserve to live and other people don't. Again, this is why all crime is an act of ego, just for the record, and except for stealing the food you subsequently eat. I would put that, or maybe if you believe in Robin Hood crimes, where you steal from somebody rich and you give it to the poor, something like that. Maybe not. But everything else is ego. Tbilisi Pride. Okay, here we go. Normandale Park shooting. Opposition to Black Lives Matter. Lone wolves. All right, there we go. Buffalo shooting. White supremacy. 10 people dead. 3 wounded. Lone wolf. Highland Park. Anti-Semitism, which is another form of white supremacy in this regard, however. 48 injured, 7 dead. Cincinnati FBI field office attack, 1 dead, the shooter himself, anti-FBI support for Donald Trump. These would be the Marjorie Taylor Greene body count, I suppose. Attempted assassination of Christina. Hold on, we'll go down to here. Attack on Paul Pelosi, lone wolf, support for QAnon, Donald Trump, which is also QAnon is an anti-Semitism front group. And I would argue pro-pedophile, but whatever. Colorado Springs nightclub shooting, anti-LGBT. 2022, 2023. Let's see, Albuquerque shootings. Nobody dead, nobody injured. The lone wolf, the guy got arrested. And where were you? Okay, so those are the last few. These are like chunks of people, but the Buffalo shooting is one that was hanging in the air with everybody. And that, if you look at the who's dead, you're talking about white supremacists, Christian fundamentalism, the overlap, opposition to Black Lives Matter, the body count on this shit, anti-Semitism, the body count on all this stuff as white supremacists, as far as like deaths go, is way fucking high. And there's let's see, this is a Mali slaughter. Look at this. The Ogosago massacre, March 2019, Mali, 160 people dead. This is the group that did it. Anti-Fulani sentiment. So again, even though we're dealing with this, like inside the Tallahassee shooter, all those folks, there's the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting, anti-Semitism, which is another form of white supremacy, the Jeffersontown shooting, white supremacy. Again, okay. This does not mean that there are not other groups that commit violent acts. But the body count in the United States, in terms of domestic terror, the scale is heavily weighted in the direction of white supremacists, period. And white supremacists, by the way, will tell you that's because they're smarter, better organized, and they kill better than anybody else. Yeah, they brag about it. They literally say, like, other races aren't coordinated enough to pull out the kind of murder and death that we get. Yeah, it's adorable. Meanwhile, this decade, that's some data. And specifically, the Buffalo shooting was when this came up, and they were worried about a cascading effect. And a lot of it was lone wolves, and a lot of it was people working together. And so Lanny Walnuts here wants to pretend that shit didn't happen.
That's the narrative in order to kill their political opposition.
And why would that kill the fucking political opposition? Unless your political opposition is, wait for it, white supremacy. In which case, that's fucking everybody. You, me, and Indiana Jones. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along.
Right.
No, not right. And by the way, I don't know where Boebs comes in on this. We'll see if there she is. Hold on. See what Lauren Boebert says. Here you go. Hold on. She's coming in talking about the Biden family whistleblower now wanted by the DOJ because they're obviously trying to stop him from testifying, even though they could send lawyers to testify and offer an agreement where they will not seize him or give away his position if he'll testify under oath. I'm sure they could get away with it, but whatever. This is Boebs jumping in.
Lauren Boebert, Congresswoman, let me get your take on this. Now, everybody says this guy's missing. We see the video.
He's not missing. He's a fugitive.
He's obviously concerned for his very life, right?
If he was concerned for his very life, he wouldn't work for the CCP, and he certainly wouldn't deal arms in Kenya
right now. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in hiding. What should we take?
No, he could also be going to jail for arms trafficking, fuckhead.
From all of this.
This is really shameful that someone actually came forward to share their knowledge of what's going on within the dealings of the federal government and the.
Oh, my God. Someone call Sarah Palin. We all owe her an apology. She's very well-spoken and apparently well-read compared to, I don't know what the fucking drop-off is in this.
Corruption that he was witnessing firsthand.
Firsthand. He was trying to jumpstart and failed.
We have whistleblower protections and.
Yeah, he's not a whistleblower. He's an alleged witness to a crime and an alleged participant in said crime. But he was engaging in other crimes too. He's wanted.
Al Luft was indicted by Merrick Garland's DOJ just this week. And this is, of course, after he released this video, this statement a few months ago saying that he provided the FBI with evidence of corruption involving.
Yes, he did. Involving himself.
The Biden crime family in 2019. The DOJ.
Somebody in the chat. Who was president in 2019? I forget. Garfield? Fuck.
Alleges Luft received payment from the Chinese energy firm CFC, who.
CEFC. Does it? It's just me, right? I'm the only person who gives a fuck that these people who are talking like they have evidence don't even know the fucking name. All right.
Also conveniently had a deal with Hunter Biden and also claims that Luft was an unlicensed arms dealer. Both claims Luft has denied. But Luft has gone on to say that he's innocent and that all these charges are being brought against him to protect Hunter, his Uncle Jim, and even Trader Joe. And the American people are sick and tired of Biden's double standard.
What would be the double standard in this situation? The double standard of not believing American citizens who bring charges against Donald Trump, but believing any random fucko who brings a charge against Joe Biden, that kind of double standard? Because the president can't be indicted and they got to leave the president alone. They're trying to destroy the country, and this is an attack on our democracy, not just on one man.
And his agency, his minions, covering up for the Bidens
while Trump was president. It's amazing. I got to say, the reach of the Biden hand is incredible. I'm surprised. Has Obama come out and finally admitted that Joe ran everything during those 8 years because every time he reached for the steering wheel, Joe was already sitting in the seat?
Simultaneously indicting conservatives. Merrick Garland's Department of Justice and Christopher Wray's FBI are taxpayer-funded agencies working for the Biden campaign.
Well, I mean, Biden is campaigning on what's good for America, so in a tacit way, I suppose that's possible.
So, Congressman, when you see all of this happening, first off, thank you for serving not just your state, but the nation.
Yeah, thanks for your sacrifice, losing your restaurant like that and your marriage, just to help us all watch bills that have no chance of passing get put on the floor just for the sake of complaints. Awesome.
They're in corrupt D.C. But
where you work. No offense.
When we see this, it seems to me they're wanting to throw these charges at him because if he's under investigation or he's got some charges, then he's not. They can't interview him and get any information. Is that correct?
Yes, they can. They absolutely can interview him at any time.
Correct.
They're always looking to that excuse of having an investigation and not being able to pursue something. Now,
I think, isn't that your excuse in this situation? Honest to God, there is not genuinely, a point of privilege, if I may, Mr. Chairman. There is nothing stopping any of these committees from interviewing Gal Luft after he's been arrested and making the case if they find out that he's innocent on his behalf. Now, the question then you have to ask is, why don't they? Why don't they send a message to his lawyer and say, hey, undisclosed location, we want to depose him under oath. And if we find out anything, and he could say all these, he could tell us how the charges are false, it'd be just like he was testifying in a court of law under oath. And we can make that happen if he hello. He hung up again.
Everything that we're seeing come out with the Biden crime family, I mean, this has all been taking place for years, and a lot of it is even past the statute of limitations. And the way that we're seeing this in the Oversight Committee is...
Mm-hmm. Tell me again why Trump shouldn't face sexual assault charges again. What's your reasoning? That it's been too fucking long.
Is that this is not a bug in the system, it's a feature in the system. That the FBI, the DOJ did not want to go after the Bidens all these years, even though they had this information. And now we have.
Why? Honestly, why? Why not? What was stopping the fucking FBI from going after Joe Biden, the senator from Delaware, before he was vice president? If this shit's been going on forever, and if it went on all during the Obama administration, what was the policy during the Obama administration that Joe was for, Obama was against, but he somehow leveraged to get his own way? Sure as fuck wasn't the surge. It certainly wasn't the public option. Two things that, on the one hand, he was against the surge and for the public option. Well, I guess the crime, the bribes didn't go far enough in those particular areas. Where else? Again, how in the world are you going to make the case that a bribe scheme happened if you can't point to any policy shifts that negatively affect the United States are good for the people that allegedly paid Biden for his change in attitude, his influence in a particular situation, if it didn't actually happen, and worse, he didn't even actually fucking fight for it.
We have Gal Luft coming out and admitting to this. We don't know where he is now, but
we trust him. That's the important thing. Sure, he lied to the FBI and to the state's attorneys general that Trump sent to Brussels to talk to him, and it was so bad that even Trump's DOJ, with Bill Barr at the helm, didn't use it as a weapon against Joe Biden because it wouldn't stick. Because, I mean, honestly, if Trump's known for anything, it's his restraint.
Still, there is no action that is being taken. I mean, even if you look at just what happened with David Weiss and Attorney General Merrick Garland, he gave Hunter Biden a sweetheart deal that no other American would have ever received. So this is not just...
They get him all the time. I mean, you could argue that Trump is getting one right now.
A bug or a glitch in the system. This is an absolute feature.
Boy, it sure is. And let me...
Boy, it sure is. Thanks for being here. It's so good. And I also want to thank you, if I may. Let's see. Go to here. Go to that guy. Open this. Go to filters. Excellent. Now let me see if I can find let's go to this guy. 1 second. Give me be with you in just one moment, folks. I'm just gonna go in here. Let's see, where would that be? Downloads be in here, wouldn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me hold on. I gotta do this first. Go to studio mode. I'll fix this here. And we'll go to here. And we'll go to filters, and we go to this, because some people just, sometimes I'll let some people get away with something, and then other people, by God, I can't do it. I cannot do it. And this is one of those situations where, let's grab, this one will probably be better, I think. Okay, we'll put this here. We'll shrink this way down. Put this on here, and then we'll send it to the back, way down below the whole thing. Give me 1 second. This is going to be worthwhile, I think. There we go. Okay. And then we'll choose this. It's going to be worth it. Hold on. Take this filter, and I want to do it here. Turn that off. Turn this on. Add there we go. Okay. Yeah, excellent. And then we'll go up a little bit. This up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to look good. Now we're starting to get it. Okay. Hold on 1 second. We'll take this this guy right here. I gotta shrink this down a little bit more. There we go. And now, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. If I may, it's important that you have somebody who's on here wearing a true Trump Epstein shirt in these situations. There we go. Yeah, that's and I think it's cool that she's just standing by her man. She's got Trump and Epstein on her shirt, hanging out on an airplane. Weird. It's interesting that picture even exists, but she got it printed on a T-shirt. That's dedication.
Let me go to you, Rick. You hear all this. This is what makes America really frustrated, because they.
No, I'm not really frustrated. Honest to God, I'm not. But can we go back to Boebs, because I don't need to hear from you, Rick. Nobody cares. Whoops, this got stuck. What's happened? Back up here. There's Lanny Walnuts. We'll go back to, there we go. Let's go back to Boebert.
They want to cover up. I'm sure Biden wants us to stop looking at the past and get back to the future. But this is where we are right now. We are just uncovering all of this information. I was in a skiff reading unclassified documents, the FD 1023s, and this is something that needs to be released to the American people. And I'm going into a skiff again on Thursday for another unclassified matter to meet with Secret Service agents about cocaine being found at the White House. I mean, this is twice now that this administration is putting us into skiffs, into secured rooms to be briefed on matters that are not classified. And so they're doing everything that they can to protect Joe Biden. They certainly don't want my articles of impeachment that I sent to the Homeland Security Committee to come up and get a vote, because Kamala Harris is great insurance policy for Joe Biden. Certainly, they don't want her in office. They don't want her.
You do realize you can take a breath and think about what you're going to say before you say it, as opposed to just like spending most of your time psychically just kind of stitching together bumper stickers so that they can come out of your mouth like a ticker tape.
And as vice president, even, they'll send her somewhere and, she can tell kids about the space and moon and cackle with them.
Tell people about the space and moon and cackle with them.
But I do believe that they would love to prop somebody like Gavin Newsom up. But either way, I am confident.
I don't think they have to prop him up. I think the idea is that they want to promote him to. He's probably going to run for president, absolutely. But he's like somebody who actually gives a shit about the Democratic Party. He's going to wait.
That President Trump is going to come in and win that general election in 2024. This is someone who has experience, who
hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein on an airplane. I appreciate you pointing it out.
Who has a proven track record
of hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein on an airplane.
And also President Trump.
Oh, sorry. I have to do something real quick. I need to take this. Let's see. Grab this picture. I've got to drag it over to here. And whoops. See, that's the actual picture. There's a buddy. Hold on, right? Whoops. And then just went into here. Crap. I'm just having some fun. It's okay. Why is it not going in there? What's happening? Oh well. Why can't I add something there? You silly, silly person. I guess I have to add it in here. I want it to be in my little other frame too. Here we go. Yes, here we go. And then we put that in the back. Think. Oops. There you go. Think. Yeah, that works. We take this in, and we squeeze this down to here. And perfect. Okay. It's going to be good later on, I think. Just trust me on this. All right. Okay. Now back to where we were. Hello. Okay.
Is not going to be worried about his second term in office. Anyone else that would be going into that office, any other Republican, they would be more worried about their next election, their re-election, than these first 4 years that they were serving. So I am very confident that President.
What? Wait, so Trump is not worried about his legacy. What?
Republican in office. Anyone else that would be going into that office, any other.
She means Republican presidential hope.
The Republican, they would be more worried about their next election, their re-election, than these first 4 years that they were serving. So,
see, is that what Trump was doing? He just lost, and therefore, who gives a fuck?
I am very confident that President Trump will win that, and we won't have to worry about Biden, Kamala, or Gavin Newsom.
Amen. I'll agree with that and pray and agree, and everybody in this room will agree with that.
Basically empty, that room. Anyways, I just thought that was worth us all gathering. Hold on a second. Grab this. Sorry, I have to move this guy over there. Excuse me. Your shirt got messed up and I wanted to fix it. Yeah, that's just in case anybody's confused about what's on her shirt. It's that picture. It's amazing that she was able to get that printed out in such a nice garment or whatever. I wonder if how many washes before it starts to crack. Anyways, anyway, gang, this is Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Hi. I'm done with those folks.